the guy who's going to be competing in slopestyle later this week, Saturday, going up against Marc Ducat. Marc Ducat qualified 20th. Lemoyne qualified 4th. So you got to think Lemoyne is going to be looking good in this heat.
Lemoyne, winner of round 1 in Rotorua. So we know he's on form this year, but that was 3 odd months ago. So Thomas Lemoyne, number 4 qualifier. Marc Ducat out of Great Britain, qualified down in 20th position. And Thomas Lemoyne, no surprise, he'll take the lead into the next heat here, the round of 16.
Thomas Lemoyne by 0.94, looking good. Let's take a look back at qualifying 3rd, so he's on point right now. 19th is where Niederberger qualified. So when we're in these early rounds, these round of 16s, you're going to get a lopsided matchup. Some Cinderella stories.
Yeah, we saw it in the slot. So can anyone take down these heavy hitters? Warren qualified great. He's looking fast. He's looking consistent. But Noel Niederberger, he's an incredible rider.
Yeah, here we go. Final straightaway is where Austin Warren just really... So that's what's going on. This is run number 1 of the round of 16. Next in the gate from Poland is Marcin Rott. And Luca Comeni, the guy who was on the podium just earlier today in Slalom, took home the bronze medal. He's on the right side of your screen.
So Luca coming off some great racing in the slalom, but that was earlier today, so he's got some riding under his belt already. What's his fitness going to be like going through all these rounds? Oh, it looks like a little bit of a mistake there by Marcin Rott. Yep, he's lost some momentum there, so Luca's going to breeze through and take the advantage into the next heat for these guys.
Luca Comeni with a full 1.5. Even if you have a crash and cross the finish line a minute behind your competitor, you'll only have to beat them by more than 1.5. Keeps it interesting out here, and it's always interesting when you have 2 riders in the gate like this. Bas van Steenbergen on the right side of your screen, Billy Meeklum on the left. Billy Meeklum, of course, the youngster from New Zealand who burst onto the scene and stopped number 1 of this 2019 season. And Bas van Steenbergen, the guy who's currently sitting in 4th in the overall King title hunt.
So strong qualifying from Billy. He was in 7th position. On paper, going a little bit quicker than Bas, who's down in 10th. Oh! Wow, looks like he went off track there, but there isn't bunting there. There isn't a pole, so I don't think that was an illegal move by Billy. But yeah, you can see some mistakes by Billy early on and another one there.
Bas van, he'll be putting his hat in the ring. But here we go. This is our final bracket for the round of 16 in the men's category. Kyle Straight on the right side of your screen going up against Benedict Last. Kyle Straight had issues in qualifying for dual slalom. We did not see him in that final. So he's looking to make up for that and end his day right.
So Kyle Straight off to a storming start, qualifying in 2nd position. He means business. Running a little bit late there on that turn, but I don't think losing any time. Not quite looking at himself though, but he is in the lead here.
Well, that'll do it right there. Kyle Straight putting a 0.91 on Benedict Last. Set himself up nicely to exit this round. These are 2nd runs right now. And the brackets look a little something like this. Adrian Laurent, his name is yellow. He has the lead going into his 2nd run against Niels Bensink. That's the first bracket we have in the gate right now. We're going to be sending one of these riders into the round of 8. Now, Adrian Laurent, of course, big name on the Crankworx World Tour. He was also the 2017 Pump Track World Champion. He put a 0.56 advantage on Niels Bensink in round number 1. Niels Bensink is going to be trying to fight his way back and get into that round of 8. Let's see if he can do it.
Needs to get out fast earlier, put a little bit of pressure on Adrian. Adrian qualified fastest in slalom but went out earlier. So you would imagine that he's got a little bit of fire in his belly. He wants to make up for disappointing day already. Yeah, Adrian riding high on confidence here.
Laurent crosses the finish line first. He had the... Take a look at this right here. The reason why we're focusing in on his leg isn't because we like the artistry on his socks. It's because there's a very interesting story with the calves of Keegan Wright. One calf is smaller than the other. We asked him why. Check a look.
I was born with tailor pace, so when I was a baby, I was born and my foot was twisted backwards, around like facing backwards. So I've had about eight or nine operations on that, and it's been in cast for about 4.5, 5 years of my life, just from those operations having been in cast about 5 or 6 months at the time. So yeah, it's just accumulated over time. Just being in the cast, it just hasn't developed the same muscle as my left leg. But yeah, my parents never allowed me to treat it as like a disability or a disadvantage. They always told me it's just a normal leg and just go ride bikes and do what you do. And yeah.
So if you're struggling for a reason to root for Keegan Wright and all of his results weren't enough for you, how about that? Come on, look at this.
Got a bag of excuses, they're not valid. So Keegan's pushed through adversity, which is amazing, and that shows why he's so driven, and it's really paying off now.
And this isn't something he talks about a lot. Our team noticed that his calf was smaller on the left side, decided to ask him, what a story. Well, back to this story, 0.33 is the advantage that Keegan Wright has over Thomas Slavic, a former king of Crankworks. Thomas Slavic, a little bit of work to do here.
Yeah, he does. He's had a bit of a slow start to the season, nursing an injury back in Rotary. He was really beat up. Obviously not getting as much bike time as he wanted. Keegan Wright, on the other hand, having a good finish in slalom already today, taking a 4th. And Thomas Slavic with the lead isn't going to be enough.
He needs to beat 0.33. It's 0.18. Not going to be enough to defend that title. Right now he's going up against Louis Rabault, who's a rider who comes from a dirt jump and slopestyle background, but no stranger to any discipline. He gets on the downhill bike all the time. He's got 0.02 of a second buffer over Cheney Gunet. I don't know, that's not comfortable, Andrew.
No, but Cheney Gunet is looking to 3 PTA. He's won this event in Innsbruck the last 2 years running, but Louis Rabault trying to put a stop to that right here in the round of 16, which is early. And there's Cheney Gunet showing his class, coming out ahead.
So Cheney Gunet only had to make up 0.02 of a second. Going up against Marc Ducat from Great Britain. Thomas Moyne has 0.94 to play around with here.
Oh, bit of a sluggish slog with Marc Ducat. That's not going to help against a rider like Thomas Lemoyne, leading our series after a win. That's the same thing that I saw that Billy McLean did. Didn't seem to slow him down though. And Thomas Lemoyne is going to breeze into the next round.
So Lemoyne, this is the best part of the day right here. Almost sunset, still a little bit of light on the course. I'm sure the beers are flowing out there. The crowd is getting into it. Right now it's all about Austin Warren going up against Noel Niederberger.
So Noel doing very well in the first heat against some of the likes of Austin Warren, who qualified in 3rd position. There's that line again. I'd love to see another angle. It looks like they're coming out of that turn a little bit late, or just opting to miss some of those rollers. While Austin Warren, potentially that lane being a little bit quicker. Doesn't matter how pump track goes, that's always a nice way to ride.
This is just the icing on top of the cake right here if he's able to get another podium finish. But he's looking real good on his bike today. He's got an advantage over Marcin Rott right here. Marcin Rott with some issues in their first run.
So Luca Committee just needs to keep it steady through this round. He's got 1.5 seconds to work with. So keeping it tidy through the S-bends. Oh, going for the jump. That is risky. If he came unstuck there, he could be going home early.
That's what happens when